Hello everyone, welcome back in my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Marta. I am a mom, I'm a crafter. I also do some live classes online, and one of them I had yesterday. And normally what I do, I like to repost the live video up to my YouTube channel as well, because not everyone have a Facebook account, so I don't want anyone to miss out on the classes. And unfortunately I had a little gremlin yesterday because my classes didn't save on my camera once I was recording it, and when I tried to re-download the video from the Facebook page, it wasn't the best quality. So I've decided to quickly just jump in and recreate the project I was doing on the live classes. Now what I have for you, my friend, this is a free downloadable file. I was thinking that there's no better way to start a new year from creating something encouraging, something which will help you throughout the year, and I came up with the idea to create this little lovely box of sunshine. This is a box you can create for yourself. You don't have to dress it the same way as I did, but I want you to present with the idea of having those little box with some lovely positive message inside, where you can write some goals, some dreams, things which will keep you motivated throughout the year. So I have those one for you to download, to cut out now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flip around the camera and create the same project step by step. It's gonna be a little bit faster in comparison to the live classes, but if you still like those live classes experience, you can click the link down below to the Facebook and you can rewatch the live classes. I hope you will enjoy your project. I hope you will have lots of fun, and if you do, please don't forget to give me a like, to share and subscribe to my channel. That will really help me out as a creator. And now I'm flipping the camera and I'll see you on the other side. So my lovely friends, I'm gonna start from quickly drawing you the sketch for this box design, and this way, once you know how to create these sketches, you will be able to design the box of any size you will need ever. So rather than just give you a blank list of the measurements, I want you to go step by step to realize how easy it is to actually create those sketches and to take up the measurements for your own boxes. What I need, I want my box to be joined top with the bottom, so you could see I've got two larger squares, which is one for the top, one for the bottom. I've joined them together with this little like a flap in between them, and now I'm doing the double flaps on each of the three sides of my squares, and I've created a little flaps to glue everything together. And now it's the measuring part. This is the most important and key. I know that my box, I want them to be 4 by 4 inches because it's a standard size for any boxes, like an explosion box, and it's good size. So I know that having two of them, top and the bottom, I will use up 8 inches already, and I want everything to fit to 11 3/4 inch, which is the standard size for A4 size card. So I took the remaining bit, I divided it into 5 parts, and this way I've managed to fit my box exactly in the length of the A4 size card without trimming it. Now I know that the side flaps, they have to be exactly the same measurement as the one on the length, so I add everything up and I end up having the piece I need. It's 11 3/4 by 7 inches. I'm sorry, my friends, I forgot to turn off the notification on my phone. Now, going back to the box, I've already trimmed my paper into 7 inches by 11 3/4, so I only cut off the tiny strip on the side, and now I am proceeding with the scoring. I am following the pattern, and I will give you in a second the full list of the scoring. But my friends, I want to put your attention into the fact that sometimes happen, and this is for me, it's quite often the case that if I trim something in my guillotine, which is past this 6 inches mark, sometimes it's a little bit off in comparing to the measurements I have on my scoring board. And what I like to do to make sure everything is equal and even, I'm gonna do half of the line starting from the first side, which is like 3/4, 1.5, and then 4 inches, and then I'm turning around and I'm starting again from the beginning. This way, if you have any discrepancy between your guillotine and your scale on your scoring board, everything will be hide in this little square. At the end of the video, I will give you a photo with all the measurements, and you will also be able to have the link to the download the papers, and I will also give you a link to the article on the craft world where you will find all the exact measurements, and on my blog as well. Now I've took the pencil and I'm marking myself. This is a good technique if you do the box for the first time, or you're unsure and you don't want to miss by accidentally cutting off the flaps. I'm marking myself those little crosses where I have to cut off these little squares, and I'm making the arrow, and the arrow comes off from the side which will be attached to the box. So whatever flap is directed to, it's easier for you if you just draw a little arrow, and that way you are 100% sure that it won't cut by any accident. Now I am taking my scoring tool, and I am just slightly reinforcing those scoring line to help me to fold my box together and put it on. I will be gluing my box with the help of the double-sided tape, but any liquid adhesive will work here fine. With this box, you can enlarge the size and fit to your need. Just follow the guidelines from the sketch, and you can actually adapt it to any size you need and create your own boxes for the cards, for the gifts, or anything you would need. What I like to do is to add a little pieces of the double-sided tape to those tiny flaps, and then I am adding a strip to this edge of the bigger flaps. At first I am revealing all those little papers from the flaps, and for that, if you ever struggle with lifting your paper from double-sided tape, use some sharp object like a point of your scissors. It really makes the job easier. Then I am revealing 2 strips from the sides, and what I like to do, I like to start assembling my box from the bottom. I am lifting the part up to the straight point, like, and then once I have my corner nicely glued, I am folding over the sides, and then as the last one, I'm doing this third part, just squeezing it and folding over. Once I have it ready, I am folding 2 flaps on the sides of the top part, and then I am closing my box and making sure that I have enough room so the box will be closing and opening nicely. It's not gonna be too loose, too tight. I'm making sure those little flaps are glued down properly, and once they're there, I am just folding over the third flap, and the box is assembled. And once my box is ready, I like to take scissors and just teeny tiny trim those corner of those flaps which are folding besides once I'm closing up the box. I think it's just give it this little bit nicer vibe, and the whole box just looks more finished, more professional. Because we did double folding, all the edges inside box are more sturdier, and they also hold much nicer. Many times at the beginning of my crafty journey, when I was creating the boxes, I never did the double flap. I was just doing the single flaps. But I must to tell you, my friends, it wasn't looking as professionally. You will still see the glue flaps and things like that. So this is why I prefer to do the double flaps. Now, let's do something to dress up our box. Normally, I would probably reach for some colored cardstock, but I wanted to do something fun, something different. We were actually doing a live classes, so this is just me trying to recreate what I did on the live. And what I did, I had it happened that I had the brayer lying on my desk, so I just quickly grabbed some inks, and as you can see, I'm just going over random direction. I spray it with the water a little bit, and I've used up some texture stamps, just a random stamps. So really, there's no rhyme and reason here, just to create some kind of an interesting background. I'm gonna leave it aside to dry, and I am gonna do the same with the green color inks, just so I could have something to add, create some greens. Now, before you switch in the colors with your brayers, make sure you just wipe it a little bit, because I don't want to cross contaminate my ink pad. But if it happened to you that you will cross contaminate your ink pad, just take a piece of the paper and just smoosh your ink pad over there, and that should clean it up just enough so you could have the your main color back on, you know, working back. Now I'm doing a couple of stampings here as well, just a little bit extra of the darker green color ink. All the supplies I'm using here I will list down below in this video of the description, so check it out if you're interested to see what colors and what products I was using. Generally I'm just using the distress oxide ink pads, some couple of the stamps, could be any stamps. I think I have them actually, these ones, they really yellowish, dirty, but this is the stamps I keep beside my ink pads, and this is something I'm using for texture so much often that I don't even put them back to the packaging, so that's why they are so discolored and well used. Now, if you're impatient as me, you can use some heating tool, and here's a tip for not getting your paper curl. You have to move your tool really fast, and what I did, you could see I was constantly turning over the page and kind of trying to straighten up with my hand, and this way once I dried the paper, it wasn't wonky at all, very little, like, you know, wrinkles on them. So that's the tip. If you need your paper to be straight, then definitely just do that. Move your heating tool very quickly. Now I've decided to use a flower dye, and this is the part of the new collection from Apple Blossom, and this is a forming peony dye, which I really like, and I think it's just looking here perfectly. There are also some leaves included in the set, but because when I was doing the live, I start from the leaves, and that was before I reached the dye. I will show you a quick idea. You can create your own leaves. You not necessarily need to use a dye. This is a very simple, it takes a couple seconds. It's probably same amount of the time than passing your paper with the dies through your die cutting machine. I've just cut couple of those like a teardrop shapes to pretend to be my leaves, and they ready. Now last thing I like to do whenever I work with those handmade textured papers, background papers for my leaves and flowers, I like to take a sponge, and I have those absolutely amazing product, which is IZINK ALADINE sprays. I cannot recommend them enough. I've been using them for so many different techniques. They're so versatile, they're so concentrated with the pigment, and they have this beautiful shininess. They are very subtle, almost like a wink of Stella, I would say, and they really good formulated, because the all this like shining particles they are in the spray, they are not settling down. Everything is just floating constantly. So I really like working with this product, because I've never had any trouble with clogged bottles or anything like that. Lastly, I've decided to change a little bit comparing to the live I was creating yesterday, because I add a little drop of the yellow color into my flower centers, and I'm gonna be using a flower stamens instead of a large pearl I used yesterday. And for those of you who still like to spend the time together in and have this live classes experience, you can still go to the links down below. There is a link to the original classes you can rewatch on the Facebook, but here, because I'm redoing it, I've decided to do a little bit shorter version, still walk you through all the steps, but just make it a little bit quicker, because normally everyone who been watching live classes, you do know there's always some talking going around. We're like, you know, I read your comments, answer some questions and things like that. So it's always taking a little bit longer when I create something on the live classes than in comparison when I'm just making something on myself, like recording the video I'm doing right now. And if it comes for shaping my flowers, what I did, I'm using the smallest ball in my shaping tool, and I go around all the elements 1 millimeter away from the edge. This way I have this nice curved edge, and it's just give me this nice professional finish. I did it for the leaves and also for the flowers. I'm not doing any really difficult shaping here, but if you are interested to have more details video, just have a quick look on the videos I have on my YouTube channel. There is a few. I also had a live classes from making the Foamiran flowers step by step. This was a 1 hour long video, and I had a couple of the ideas for shaping flowers over there as well. Now, as for my flower centers, I'm using those white stamens. First, I'm just banding a group of them together, probably anywhere between like a 10 to 20 is a good amount to have this like a really nice flower center. And I've just grabbed few in my fingers, I'm folding them half, and I'm securing it with the glue. That this way everything stays together. And once I'm happy, I am punching the hole in my flowers, and then I am just pushing through my stamens, and once they are poked through the hole, I am adding a little piece of the glue into the inside portion of my flower, and then I am slightly pulling the stamens down and twist them a little bit. This way every single one of them it's covering the glue, so they are secure, nothing is coming off. You could see here I'm adding a drop of the glue inside, and I'm slightly pulling and twisting those stamens inside. Once I'm happy, one of them was oddly standing out, it was much higher than the rest of them, so I just chop it out and it's looking nice. Then I am adding a drop of the glue on the outside, on the back side, and just let it dry. So this way it's secure, and I never had any trouble to lose anything. I'm using my SIZZIX I'm using my Tim Holtz scissors, sorry, to cut out the remaining bit, and I'm gonna be dressing my box. I'm using a piece of the cheesecloth and some florist sizzle. This is my very common use combination I like, because they add some nice cushioning, and it's just this nice rustic vibe and feeling to my composition. So if you haven't worked with the sizzles before, definitely I recommend you can buy them in the stores which are providing with this florist equipment, but you can also buy some on the online. Like I think I've bought mine a couple times from the eBay or any other like online store. You can just Google, and that will give you some results as well. Now here you can see comparison. The live classes I did a little bit plain looking flower because it were really long. We were already nearly an hour, so I just wanted to wrap up, and here I did a little bit more build up flower. Here all those little elements you can put inside, which you can download for free. And here you can see how this box turned out. I really love those flowers. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Down below, you do have a links to the free downloads. I hope you will enjoy them. And last thing I wish to say is that this coming Thursday, I have Polish live classes on my Facebook page, but then I will re-record the English version and post it over here. So click the bell notification if you don't want to miss it, because it's a very interesting project we're gonna do. Stay blessed, and I'm wishing you all a fantastic day. Bye bye.